This is Astrator. Won't you come with me beyond this world? Beyond this world, dramatic stories of tomorrow and maybe of today, as told in science fiction. Stories of adventure in time and space, of exciting experiments in science beyond this world. Your guide, the noted authority on science fiction, Astrator. Welcome beyond this world. Tonight I will take you beyond the realm of knowledge as you know it today, to the boundaries of outer space, and to the story of a rocket pilot who undergoes a strange and frightening experience. First in 1910, then again in 1949 and 50, many claim to have witnessed strange shapes in the sky. Who is there to say that flying saucers are not spaceships from another planet? With our star, Frank Lovejoy, come with me now to a great air base in the desert for an adventure beyond this world with the famous author Graham Dorr and his thrilling tale, The Outer Limit.
Settle down, men.
Okay, Colonel.
Yes, sir.
All of you will want to know why we took you out of whatever warm beds you were in. Got a reason. The RJX-1. Yeah, that's right, the RJX-1. The top secret experimental rocket jet aircraft. We've been babying it, nursing it, staying up nights with it for 16 months now. This morning, Major Westfall is going to wean it. Bill is going to take her out and beat her up to death. I can't impress upon you men how extraordinary this flight is. It's an 8-rocket ship. That's what I said, 8 rockets. 8 rockets designed to take man into areas of space that have never been explored before. And at a rate of speed to which no pilot has yet been subjected. Some of you men have already flown many times the speed of sound, so I don't have to tell you very much. Joe?
Yes, Colonel?
You'll lead the F-86s. You and the other 3 jet boys will be Bill's chase planes. We want observation at 35,000 feet.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here's how it plays. Pull the curtains on the map, will you, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
You see it circled here, your rendezvous point. We designate it Point X. It's roughly over Boulder Dam. 0 hour is 0900. Joe, you and your jets will take off at 0-15. You got that?
Yes, sir.
You F-86s will make conventional climbs to 30,000 feet. Rendezvous at Point X and call into meet control at 35,000 feet. Right, Joe?
That cuts it, Colonel.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Not quite. Now we hear about the weather. Pete?
Yes, Colonel. Well, the weather's very pretty out, boys. All clear, ceiling unlimited. Winds aloft at 10,000, 80 mph, 25,000, 140 mph, 40,000, 150 mph. Estimated temperature, 45 below at 40,000 feet. There's some scattered clouds northwest of Point X at 15,000 feet. Stratus at 30,000 feet, 30 miles east of Point X, east. We expect no change for 3 hours. That's it, sir.
Okay, Pete. Joe, you and your boys go unwrap your F-86s. Have a nice time.
Yes, sir. Come on, boys.
Major Westfall. Major Westfall, stick around. I want to talk to you.
Okay, Hank.
How you feeling, Bill?
Why? You worried, Hank? Don't worry.
Look, Bill, you've got only 10 minutes of rocket fuel. Get rid of those jets before you fire the rockets. Fire only one
rocket at a time.
Yeah, that's right. Now, look, I'll be listening in on the public address of control. I won't bother you until you're airborne. It'll be between you and the tower until then.
All right, don't worry, Hank. I'm going to fly that baby higher and faster than anybody ever did before, just like you said. I'm going to take it up and I'm going to bring it back. And then you and I'll have dinner together.
3, 0 minus. Good morning, Colonel.
Mr. Hargrove. You'll be here at the control with me?
It's all right with you, Colonel?
I wouldn't have it any other way. You've checked the communications equipment, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. Major Westfall's been assigned a special radio frequency of 3970.
Good. You'll take care of it, Sergeant. We don't want it to poop out or anything like that, do we?
Yes, sir. No, sir. Sir.
Hargrove, I got a thing on my mind. That boy in the plane you geniuses designed, he's my best boy.
It's our best plane, Colonel.
It better be. Now it's your turn. What do you got on your mind?
Everything's in proper order, Colonel. Recording equipment, the television cameras in the cockpit, everything. Every known scientific device, even some unknown. They've been very
We're talking about a man, Hargrove. That's all I really want to get back out of this. What about the man?
There may be one difficulty.
Tell me about it. I'd like to know.
The takeoff, with all that load. The jets, the rockets, all at maximum fuel capacity. Never been tested that way before.
Go on, Mr. Hargrove.
Well, it's just that Major Westfall has only 6,000 feet to get his ship airborne. If he accelerates from 0 to 160 miles per hour in 6,000 feet, he should be airborne in 7 seconds.
7 seconds, that makes 0 plus G.
Yes, Colonel. Beyond 0 plus G, well, beyond that, we don't know. We just don't know.
Thanks. Thanks for everything, Mr. Hargrove. Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Flip your switch on Major Westfall. I hear he's got a swell program. Flip them all, will you, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
RJX1 to tower. Any change in weather?
Tower to RJX1. Barometer reading 29.7. Set your altimeter accordingly.
Roger.
Wind 15 miles from south. Take off runway 27. Runway 27.
Got it.
0 minus 130. 0
RJX1 to control. Over.
Control RJX1, go ahead.
This is just for you, Hank. Cabin pressure, okay. Oxygen pressure, okay.
All right. Get off the dime, kid.
Take a pill, Hank. You'll need it to settle your stomach.
0 minus 1. 0
RJX1 to crew chief, over.
Crew chief to RJX1. Go ahead.
I'm ready to fire.
Hold it. Okay. All set to fire.
Clear?
Clear.
Starting right jet. Starting left jet.
0 minus 30
Tower to
seconds.
RJX1.
0
Over.
minus 30 seconds.
RJX1 to tower, go ahead.
Western Airlines Convair reported over Ventura.
Got it.
Eastbound Constellation at 17,000 over Salt Lake.
Roger.
Western Airlines DC-4 on Base Lake at 1,000 over Burbank. The rest of the air is yours.
Thank you so much.
0 minus 10.
RJX1 to tower. Ready for takeoff.
Tower to
7,
RJX1.
6,
Clear for takeoff.
5,
Good luck, Bill.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
He's rolling.
Right.
Rolling.
B, C, D, E,
Bill,
F,
lift it.
G,
Lift it. Lift it. He made it. Bill made it, Mr. Hargrove.
RJX1 to control. RJX1 to control. Come in.
Control to RJX1, go ahead.
Everything's great, Hank. It's a doll, baby.
Hey, you must have been kidding with that takeoff, weren't you?
It took that long to get off. That makes it a takeoff.
How fast are you climbing, kid?
1,700 a minute, airspeed 550.
Retract your landing gear, it'll help.
Whoops, sorry.
Call me at 20,000.
Heading is 87. Everything is real good. Come in, Hank.
How do you feel?
I like it here.
Pressure okay?
Okay.
F-86 leader to control. F-86 to control. Come in.
Control to F-86 leader, go ahead.
F-86 observing RJX-1. He's really tearing, Colonel. Over point X at 35,000.
On schedule, Joe?
On schedule.
RJX1 to control. RJX1 to control. Come in.
Control to RJX1, go ahead, Bill.
40,000 feet, Hank.
Still a down, baby?
Still is. Ready to pressurize. Can you hear me okay, Hank?
Coming in fine.
Pressurized. Ready to prime rocket system in 5 seconds. Primed. Dropping right jet. Dropping left jet. All clear.
Good luck, Bill.
Firing number 1 rocket. Fired. Oh! Taken back. Firing number 2 rocket. Fired. Hey, honey!
Okay, Bill, what is it? Bill! Bill, are you receiving me? Control to RJX-1. Come in. Come in, RJX-1. Hello, Bill. Come in. Control to F-86 leader. Control to F-86 leader. Come in.
F-86 leader to control. Go ahead.
What about it, Joe?
F-86 observing RJX-1. RJX-1 at approximately 60,000 feet, maintaining a heading of north-northwest. I can barely make him, Colonel.
Try calling.
Okay. F-86 leader to RJX-1. F-86 to RJX-1, come in. Come in, RJX-1, come in.
Mr. Hargrove.
F-86 to RJX-1.
Share it with me, Mr. Hargrove.
F-86 to
Sit here and run your
RJX-1,
fingers
come in.
through your hair and
Come in, RJX-1.
wait and think about it and share it with me.
F-86 to RJX-1. F-86 leader to control. F-86 leader to control, come in.
Go ahead, F-86 leader.
We've lost him, Colonel.
Stay up there, Joe, for as long as you can.
What do we do now, Colonel?
I just told you, Mr. Hargrove. We wait. You and me, we wait.
We've lost him, Colonel.
You haven't lost me. I can hear you, Joe.
Stay up there, Joe, for as long as you can.
Hello? 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 I'll try another frequency, Joe. RJX-1 to F-86. Can you make me? RJX-1 to F-86. Come in. Come in. No good, huh? I'll switch back to Channel Charlie. I still can't get you, Joe. I'll keep sending. Firing number 8 rocket. Fired. Oh, brother! Oh, brother! RJX-1 to all you ships at sea, to all you people anywhere. This is Bill Westfall approaching 210,000 feet. That's 40 miles straight up in the air, all you people, and that's where I am. You never saw anything like it. No clouds. A color no one ever named before. And silence. 8 rockets roaring at my tail, and I can't hear them. Their sound will never reach me at 1,800 miles an hour. Silence so complete that the ticking of the clock on my instrument panel is a hammer in my brain. Silence. Otherwise, nothing. Nothing except... No, nothing at all. Wait a minute. Yes, there is something all right at 2 o'clock high. Oh, that's really something, brother. Maybe a flying disc, and this is a big one. Spinning like a top, and it's coming toward me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Listen. Something has just happened. Something, a missile, a shot, maybe, through the canopy. My pressure is going down. Something is happening to me. This thing, it's like a magnet. I'm being pulled toward it. I've lost control of my ship. I've no control. I'm going through decompression. I'm on the verge of unconsciousness. I'm blacking out. I'm flat. Can you hear?
So ends Act One. This is Astrator once again. Today's most modern rocket ship, plunging higher above the Earth than man has ever reached before, with fuel running low in contact with, perhaps, a flying saucer? Come back with me now to Act Two of Beyond This World, as we return to the Great Desert Air Base and the second part of tonight's story, The Outer Limit.
He had only 10 minutes fuel. He's 3 hours overdue.
Well, that's that, Colonel.
But wait some more, Mr. Hargrove.
There's no point to it. May I make a suggestion, Colonel?
What?
Give it up. Make your report to Washington.
What about you, Mr. Hargrove?
To be frank with you, Colonel, in another 16 months, there'll be another plane. The RJX-2. And the Army will give us another man to fly it.
Not till we're certain about this man, and we're not certain.
What do you propose to do?
The things that are in the manual. We'll organize search parties and put spotter planes up in the air. Maybe Bill came down on the ocean. We'll call the Navy in.
Colonel, if the RJX-1 came down on the ocean, it would sink in 3 minutes. You know it had no life preserver equipment on it. The added weight of
We'll
the
call the
instrument...
Navy in.
Whatever you say, Colonel. My guess is...
What's your guess, Mr. Hargrove?
My guess is that sometime, somewhere, on some beach or in some field, someone will pick up a piece of torn metal. That someone will be holding what's left of the RJX-1.
You're aboard that ship now. Am I getting through to you? Can you understand me? But there is no manifestation that we're in communication with you, sir. Yes, sir. I am Zeglon. You're aboard the Space Patrol ship S2J3. Am I in communication with you? Can you understand me? Are we in contact? Can you understand now what I am saying to you?
Yes. Yes, I can understand you.
Earthman, your brain is in turmoil, is it not? It has great difficulty in accepting what you see.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Accepted. What you see here exists.
What? All this? This exists?
It exists, Earthman. The spaceship you're on exists. Those jet dynamos you see before you exist. Jet dynamos driven by the harnessed power of 1,000 suns. Listen, Earthman. Listen to them. Do you know what happened as you listened, Earthman? We have flung ourselves 10,000 miles into space. What do you say to that, Earthman?
Why, I don't know what to say.
It's beyond the conception of your Earth brain. Then conceive this. Try to move, Earthman. You're not bound in any way. Try to move. Friend, it's impossible for you to move. There's a screen of force aimed at you. Now it's turned off. You may move about, Earthman. Proceed, Zeglon.
Yes, Commander. Earthman, I perceive that your intellect now accepts the fact. You are aboard Space Patrol ship S2J3. I am Captain Zeglon of the Galactic Guard.
Galactic? Galactic Guard?
The guardian of the galaxy. The guardian of the universes. The instrument the Brotherhood of Worlds has set up in defense against such a civilization as yours. What puzzles you, Earthman?
Well, I can't see you. I can feel that you're here, but I can't see you.
There is no necessity for you to see us. It is sufficient that we communicate with each other.
Yes, but talking to you is... Well, it's not like talking. It's, it's as if it were all happening inside my brain.
It is. That is how I'm reaching you, by telepathy. Do you remember what happened to you before you blacked out?
Yes, I think so. There was a sharp sound, like a bullet hitting the canopy.
It was not a bullet. It was a ray. It was necessary to stop your flight. We have so much to tell you.
Well, first tell me about my ship. Is it lost?
No. It is such a crude little ship.
Crude?
Easy for us to repair. It will be returned to you. And you will return to Earth. Because you are the Earth's only hope of survival.
Hope of survival? What do you mean?
I will show you. What you see on this screen before you is a panorama of your own universe, far greater in scope than an Earthman has ever seen before. Observe. Observe where the line is pointing. Planet 3, Star 5, Galaxy C, Sector K.
Is that the Earth?
No. That dot, that speck you see revolving in the vastness, is your sun. A star whose surface is 12,000 times that of your Earth. Your Earth is not even visible here.
What? How did you know we even existed?
That was our problem. We first became aware of your planet when we found atomic dust in the upper atmosphere. We traced it to your Earth.
It was that important to you?
Quite. We determined that you were setting off atomic bombs. That's why the Galactic Council has quarantined you.
Quarantined? I don't understand. How? How are we quarantined?
We have sealed off your planet from the rest of space. But we have surrounded it with a force screen. When that screen has accumulated enough particles of atomic dust, your Earth will explode. Your civilization, you, all life will disappear forever.
Listen to me, Earthman. Listen. We've had our own wars. Wars that almost destroyed our civilization. But we have finally outlawed war throughout space, including Earth. Now listen carefully, Earthman. If you continue to make atom bombs and hydrogen bombs, each many times more powerful than the last, and if you start making war with them, exploding them, it would upset the balance of the entire universe, throw all space into chaos. This, of course, we cannot allow. And the force screen with which we have surrounded the Earth will prevent it by exploding the Earth itself. Remember then, Earthman, if you start an atomic war, the Earth will at once be completely destroyed. Warn them, Earthman. Release him, Zedgon.
Yes, Commander. Earthman, you will rise from your seat and open that door. Descend those stairs, Earthman. You will now enter the chamber to your left. There's your ship. Get into it, Earthman. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
While we were communicating, the patrol ship has returned to where we picked you up. And now you will be propelled toward Earth. Close your canopy. Open aperture.
Warn them, Earthmen. Warn them.
Fire!
RJX-1 to tower. RJX-1 to tower. Come in. RJX-1 to tower. Come in, tower.
Tower to funny man. You loaded, kid? How did you get in on this frequency?
Listen, this is RJX-1. RJX-1 coming in for landing. Give me landing instructions.
Tower to funny man. Impossible that you're RJX-1. He's 10 hours overdue. Get away from the area. Area cleared for bomber practice approaches.
This is Major Westfall and RJX-1. Come on, kid, give me landing instructions. I have no fuel. I'm gliding.
What? Hey, yeah, I see you now, Major. Wait a minute. I'll restrict the area. Okay, RJX-1. Go ahead.
Approximately 6 miles north of field. Clear area for 10 miles.
Being cleared. What's your altitude?
10,000. Estimate 6 minutes to land.
Tower to
RJX-1. You are cleared to land. Runway 9. Wind east-southeast 15.
Roger. Coming down. Hi, Hank.
Bill, what happened?
Hank, you won't believe it, but you've got to. I know you won't believe it. It'll knock you over.
Now, just take it easy, Bill.
Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Have the ship gone over by Geiger counters for radioactivity and seal it.
What?
Oh, yes, Hank, you better mount a 24-hour guard on it.
Look, what did you run into?
Plenty. Listen to me, Hank. They said the Earth would explode. They said it was the end for us.
They said that? Come on, let's go over to my office.
You gotta believe me.
Read it like an order, Bill. My office. I want Major Donaldson to look at you.
The psychiatrist? Hank, you've got to listen to
Come on
me.
over to the office.
Well, that's the story, Major Donaldson.
I see.
Well, Hank, you believe it, don't you?
Well, Major, what do you think?
I'm not sure. Bill, these men from Mars.
I didn't say they were from Mars. Do you hear me say anything about men from Mars?
No, you didn't.
All I'm trying to tell you is this. Whoever those people were, they knew all about us, everything. And they warned me. Our atomic bombs are a danger to the universe. One more, and we're going to be the juiciest galactic 4th of July of all time. Explode, finish, gone. Like that. How do you like it?
All right, Bill, roll up your sleeve.
Oh, now, forget it, Major. All I need is a couple of drinks.
Sorry, Bill. Sorry. Not right now. Let the Major give you a hypo.
Now, look, I got a drink coming, a lot of drinks.
Major,
Come on, Bill, the sleeve.
you heard him, Bill.
All right, yes, all right, if it's an order. Go ahead.
There. You'll be okay in a few hours.
I'm okay now.
Sure. We'll leave you here, Bill. It's all right if Phil sleeps in here, isn't it, Colonel?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll believe me tomorrow. You'd better.
Come on, Major. He'll be okay by himself, Major?
He's been under a strain, but he'll sleep a long time. You better explain it to his wife somehow. I'll talk to him tomorrow. Tough. I've heard he's one of the best.
He's the best. A combination of nerve and loyalty and lightning reflexes that comes once in 10 million times. What about it, Major? How does Bill look to you?
I can't tell yet. Maybe a week, 6 months, 6 years. I'll need a whole lot of time with him before I can tell.
I see. Well, he'd better get some sleep, too.
All right. And don't worry, Colonel. He's a strong boy. Best nerves I've seen. I'd say things will be all right. Delusions like Bill's latched onto... Well, delusions like this...
Major.
Yes, Colonel?
Major, when you make your charts for Bill, diagnose him and treat him and do all the things you have to, when you do that, Major, consider this.
Yes?
How did he keep that plane in the air for 10 hours? For 10 hours, Major, when he had fuel to last him only 10 minutes.
So ends The Outer Limit. Tonight's story, Beyond This World. This is Astrator again. Our thanks to Frank Lovejoy for his excellent performance as the test pilot, and to all the other members of our cast for so graphically bringing to life this most unusual story. Perhaps it's fantastic to conceive of flying saucers as patrol ships from another planet, as our author Graham Dorr has done tonight. Perhaps. But what would you say they were? This story could happen, and maybe it did happen. Don't be too sure. Perhaps flying saucers really do exist, and are spaceships from beyond this world. Next week, an adventure into the future that you will not want to miss. Our version of the current best-selling novel by Jack Robinson, The Humanoids, when incredible robots from the outer universe invade the Earth. So, join Join us then, won't you? Beyond this world.
Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, a story by Frederick Pohl, Tunnel Under the World.
On the morning of June 15, Guy Burkhart woke up screaming. It was more real than any dream he'd ever had in his life. He could still hear and feel that sharp, metal-ripping explosion, that searing wave of heat. He sat up.
Mary, where are you?
Guy, what's wrong? You're trembling.
Where were you?
In the kitchen cooking breakfast. What is it?
Oh, a dream, I guess. An explosion.
Did you say an explosion?
Yes.
But that's the dream I had.
What?
I dreamed there was a big explosion and then something sort of hit me on the head.
Holy smokes. Maybe there really was some sort of explosion and it started us dreaming.
Well, there'll be an explosion down at your office if you don't hurry and get to work.
Coming in on the bus, Burkhart watched to see if there was any evidence of an explosion. There wasn't. If anything, the town looked better than ever. The only thing that seemed strange to him was the fact that none of the usual crowd was on the bus. He was a little relieved when he did see his old pal, Henry Swanson.
Excuse me.
Henry.
You pardon me, sir, please.
Henry, what's the matter with you? It's me, Guy Burkhart.
Burkhart? Sorry, I don't believe we've met.
What? Henry, for Pete's sake, it's me.
If you'll excuse me, this is my stop.
Well, how do you like that?
Guy Burkhart got off in front of the gigantic Controchemical building and took the elevator to the 98th floor, where he had worked in the accounting department for 12 years. It wasn't until he was almost at his floor that he realized the speaker wasn't playing the usual commercials.
Are you happy with your present home freezer? Of course not. Well, the answer to your problem is a Feckle freezer. Feckle freezers are better freezers. Most wives would do anything for a Feckle freezer. Are you happy with your present home freezer? Of course not.
Good morning, Miss Horn.
Good morning, Mr. Burkhart.
A new hairdo, I see.
Well, yes. Do you like it?
Makes a lot of difference in your appearance. Is Mr. Barth in?
Why, no, sir. He had an appointment with Mr. Dorchin at the advertising agency.
Today? But today's the 15th of June. He has to sign the quarterly statement.
He said he wouldn't be in.
That's mighty peculiar.
Yes, sir.
Oh, by the way, Miss Horn, what the devil is a Feckle freezer?
A Feckle freezer?
There's some new copy on the elevator commercial. Dorchin must have landed another account. Feckle freezers.
I really don't know, Mr. Burkhart.
It's a funny day. Can't quite put my finger on it. There's something strange going on.
He couldn't shake the thought out of his mind. It persisted all through the day and through dinner. He was still brooding as he and Mary got ready for bed.
I guess I'll get a good night's sleep. Coming?
I think I'll sit up and read for a while.
All right, dear. Good night.
Good night, dear.
At exactly midnight, Guy Burkhart lapsed into a sudden, deep sleep. And the following morning, he woke up screaming.
Darling, what is it? What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. A bad dream, I guess.
You gave me such a shock.
I seem to be having a lot of nightmares lately.
Really?
Yes. The one I had yesterday. This was the same. A big explosion and then nothing.
You had a dream yesterday?
Of course I did. You had the same sort of dream.
I? Oh, Guy, you're mistaken. I don't remember dreaming.
Mary, you told me.
Guy, you're mistaken.
But, Mary...
Maybe you dreamed I had a dream. Maybe...
Yes. I might have done that, I suppose. Everything did seem sort of strange yesterday.
That's probably it. You'd better get dressed, dear. Today's the 15th, and that's when the quarterly statement...
15th?
Yes.
Well, then, there must have been a dream. Because yesterday was the 15th.
Guy Burkhart got up, dressed, ate breakfast, and took the usual bus to work. Once again, everything seemed even brighter and newer than usual. Once again, he was puzzled when he noticed none of the old crowd on the bus.
Pardon me, please.
Look, don't shove so. Oh, Henry, good morning.
Morning.
Don't you recognize your neighbors?
I don't believe we've met.
Henry, it's me, Guy Burkhart. What's going on?
I'm sure I don't know, sir. For God's sake, don't talk to me.
What is it? Are you being followed or something?
Don't you know? I was sure you remembered.
Remembered what?
I can't talk. This is my stop, sir. Will you please excuse me?
Henry! Henry, for Pete's sake!
As in yesterday's dream, Guy Burkhart got off at his stop and took the elevator to the 98th floor. The speaker in the elevator purred a new commercial this time.
Marlin cigarettes. They're sanitized. Does your present cigarette make your throat feel raspy and unpleasant? Marlin cigarettes contain a miraculous new drug which actually gives you the sensation of smooth, creamy smoke. Marlin cigarettes. Marlin cigarettes. Marlin cigarettes.
He walked down the marble corridor to his office.
Good morning, Mr. Burkhart.
Good morning, Miss Horn.
Do you like my new hairdo?
Why, yes. Is Mr. Barth in?
No, sir. He had an
appointment with Mr. Dorchin at the agency. I know.
You know?
I guessed it anyway. And today's the 15th of June, and he won't be here to sign the quarterly statement. And I'm going nuts. Let me have a cigarette, will you?
Yes, sir. Try one of these. They're Marlin.
I never heard of Marlins before today. What are we? A bunch of guinea pigs for Dorchin's new advertising accounts?
Is something wrong, Mr. Burkhart?
Wrong? Perish the thought, Miss Horn. Perish the thought. Hello?
This is Swanson. Henry Swanson.
What is it?
Do you remember?
Remember what?
Just remember.
Listen, Henry, let's stop playing games. Yesterday, either I was dreaming or you snubbed me on the bus. Today, the same thing happens.
You do remember, thank heavens. I thought so when I saw you, but I couldn't be sure.
What is it you want?
Listen, tomorrow morning, when I get off the bus, you get off with me. But be casual. They may be watching.
Who may be watching? Swanson! Hello?
You buzzed, Mr. Burkhart?
Yes, I'm still out of cigarettes. Would you buy me a pack of Kelvins?
Wouldn't you rather have Marlins?
I smoke Kelvins.
But, Mr. Burkhart, Marlins have that soft, creamy smoke that's so soothing to your throat.
You really believe that stuff?
Well, it's true. I wouldn't say this, Mr. Burkhardt, except that, well, I've gotten to know you pretty well, and I've grown to admire you so much.
I see.
Would you mind, Mr. Burkhardt, if I told you that for months now I've wanted to, well, just comfort you. I know how troubled you've been.
You've never mentioned your feelings, Miss Horn.
April. My first name is April.
That's a pretty name.
You see, I do have your welfare at heart. That's why when I see you smoking Kelvins, and I know Marlins are so much better, won't you let me buy some of them for you?
I suppose so. Why not? Here, you bring me a carton.
Thank you, Mr. Burkhardt. Guy. I'll be back.
There was something wrong, something definitely peculiar about what was happening. The call from Henry Swanson, the strange behavior of this secretary, Miss Horn, these new products, the dream. Guy Burkhardt went home that night feeling like a man in a nightmare.
That you, dear?
Yes, me.
Have a good day.
Fair.
Oh, before you sit down, would you go down the cellar and put in a new fuse? The switch in the hall closet blew out, and I shut it off.
Okay.
Supper will be ready in a minute, so don't start fooling around with that old boat hull you've been building.
I won't. Mary! Mary!
What is it?
Come down here. Hurry up.
What is it?
I'm not sure. I was looking for a fuse, and I thought maybe I'd drop one under the boat hull, so I scratched around. Look. Let me put the flashlight on it.
Well?
Look at the floor.
What about the floor?
It's supposed to be cement.
Well?
It's copper. There's a thin layer of cement, but underneath it's metal. Look here. Underneath the concrete, more metal. There. And here, on the wall, metal. Metal under the floor, behind the walls, every place.
Well, I don't really understand.
Mary, I know this sounds crazy, but somebody, for reasons I can't begin to guess, has taken this house and replaced it with a clever imitation.
Guy.
I know it sounds insane, but take a look. That bracing on the beams. That isn't the bracing that was always there.
Oh, you're imagining.
I am not imagining. Mary, I'm going to look around for a little more.
Well, your dinner will be ready.
Save it for me. There are a couple of things I have to figure out.
The following morning, Guy Burkhardt woke up screaming. He dragged himself into the kitchen where his wife Mary was preparing breakfast and discovered it was still June 15th.
Mary, listen.
Guy, what is it? You're trembling.
Mary, the dream.
Dream?
About the explosion. The same one we've been having.
We? I didn't dream about any explosion.
You did. Why are you covering up?
Covering up, Guy? What's happened to you?
It happened. It happened.
What?
Where's the morning paper? Where is it?
Outside the door, I guess.
June 15th.
Well, you'd better hurry. Today's the day Mr. Barth fills out the quarterly tax return.
No, it isn't.
What?
He won't be there. He'll be at a meeting with the head of the advertising agency.
Mr. Dorchin?
He'll be there, and Miss Horn will have a new hairdo. And the elevator will be selling some new product. And Swanson...
What about Swanson?
Swanson. I wonder if it's going to be the same today or whether...
Guy, what in the world are you talking about?
Nothing. Where's my coat?
You haven't had breakfast.
I don't want to miss my bus. I'll see you tonight.
Guy Burkhardt got on his bus. There were the same unfamiliar faces, the same unusually new-looking buildings, the same unusually bright sunshine. And Henry Swanson, pale and furtive.
Oh, excuse me, sir.
You're quite all right.
Do you remember the phone call?
Yes.
Oh, thank heaven. Get off at the next corner and follow me.
Where are you going?
There's an excavation for a building about a block down. But make sure you aren't followed. I'll go first. Burkhardt, here, behind the fence.
Now, Henry, what's this all about?
Just a minute. I want to make sure you aren't followed.
Followed by whom?
By them, of course.
And just who are they?
I'm not sure. At first, I thought perhaps they were Russians. Now I'm beginning to think they're Martians. No humans could have accomplished what they've accomplished.
Look, start from the beginning, Henry. What's going on?
Burkhardt, peculiar things have been happening to you, right?
Yes.
A lot of your friends are missing. Your house seems changed.
Yeah, there's something stranger than that. The date. Today is June 15th. Yet I could swear that yesterday was June 15th and the day before that.
Yes, you've got it. It's always June 15th. And you and I are the only ones who know it.
But why? How?
I'm not sure. I think it's some sort of mass hypnosis or something.
Why didn't it work for us? My wife Mary doesn't remember things.
Somehow, when it happened, they missed us. We were protected from the full force of the rays or whatever they use. Burkhardt, where were you on the night of the 14th, about midnight?
That was Sunday night.
Yes.
I was down in the cellar, under that boat I'm building.
And I was in my darkroom developing some pictures.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Russians, Martians. What makes you think so?
I've seen them.
Where?
At the end of the tunnel.
What tunnel?
The one that they built under Tylertown.
A tunnel under Tylertown?
Yes, that's right. It's made out of copper or some alloy.
Wait a minute. I found a copper layer under my cellar floor last night.
Yes, so did I. That's how I discovered it. I found a way to get in, too. It's at the bottom of this excavation.
Holy mackerel. Why don't we tell the police?
Because we can't trust them. Even the police may be Martians in disguise.
You're being melodramatic.
Am I? You just come with me.
Where?
Into the tunnel. I'll show you.
Henry Swanson led Guy Burkhardt to a small hole in the side of the excavation. There he removed a cut-out piece of metallic substance, and they crawled into a dimly lighted tunnel. They walked for what seemed like 2 miles, until Swanson held his finger to his lips.
We've got to be quiet now.
Henry, this is fantastic. They've got a tunnel right under the whole town.
Oh, Burkhardt, you haven't seen anything yet. There's a room a little further down. We'll be able to look through a glass in the door.
Is it safe?
It's perfectly safe. Unless one of them comes along. Now, come on. Here. Look through this glass. Now, just so I know I'm not completely insane, tell me what you see.
Good Lord.
Well?
A tremendous panel with dozens of telescreens. And in front of each, a servo robot. They seem to be computing something.
Yes. I've watched them. They're evaluating data from the screens.
Evaluating?
Why not? Each of them has a part of a human mind, remember that.
It's against the law to transfer an evaluating circuit from a human brain to a robot.
Burkhardt, whoever is conducting this monstrous experiment is operating far outside the law.
Have you gotten a chance to look at the data on those screens?
No. No, I've been afraid to go in. There might be a warning circuit somewhere.
If we knew what those robots were working on, we could go to the authorities.
Well, I'll risk it if you will.
It's worth a chance. We're lost anyway.
Okay. Open the door. So far, so good.
Come on. Let's take a look at that data.
Yes, but don't interfere with the robots.
Don't worry. Let's look at the screen. Listen to this. Tests in the 47K12 group with Marlin cigarettes pulled 80% using the soft feminine approach. Indications are that an extension of this approach would sell at least 70% nationwide. On the Feckle freezers, the direct elevator pitch pulled only 10%. This should be abandoned and a new series of high persuasion elements introduced. Henry, do you know what this means?
I haven't the faintest idea.
I don't blame you. It's crazy, but it fits the facts when I think about it. Do you know who's behind this?
Martians.
Not Martians, Henry. Advertising men.
What?
I don't know who they are or how they've done it, but somehow they've taken Tylertown over. They've got you and me and 30,000 others right under their thumbs.
Hypnosis.
Hypnosis drugs. Maybe some kind of ray or something. However they do it, what happens is that they let us live through a single day. During that day, they pour all kinds of suggestions and propaganda into us. At the end of the day, they evaluate the results, see how we've reacted. Then at midnight, they wash the day out of our minds. And the next morning, we start the same day over again with different stimuli.
No, I can't believe that.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but think of it. They can run the perfect test, and on a whole community. Do you know what that means? Suppose one man learned how to influence people 100%. In a year, he could sell us anything from freezers to political candidates.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
We're guinea pigs, Henry. This whole community is one big test tube for propaganda research.
What do we do?
Somehow, we get out of this town and get to the FBI.
Do you think we can?
Yeah, it's worth a try. Come on.
Wait.
What is it?
Look. There's somebody coming down the tunnel.
We've got to hide.
Quick, behind the circuit box.
Shh. Good Lord. It's Dorchin, the head of the agency that does our advertising.
Quiet.
All right, Burkhardt, come out. We know you're in this room. Miss Horn has informed us that you remember. I must warn you, it's useless to buck us. Come out peacefully and let our maintenance crew adjust you properly so you don't remember from one experiment to the next. It'll be quite painless. If you don't come out peacefully, we'll have to get you.
Henry, take this wrench. When I give the word, jump him.
He may be armed.
We've nothing to lose.
Very well. I'm coming after you.
Now!
Burkhardt, I've killed him.
Wait, I'll get his coat unbuttoned. Maybe his heart is still beating. Henry.
What is it? What's wrong?
Look, underneath his coat.
Oh, heaven help us.
It's a robot. A humanoid robot. Designed to look like Dorchin.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Wait.
What's that?
A loudspeaker.
I told you it was useless, gentlemen.
Who are you?
Mr. Dorchin, naturally. The real Mr. Dorchin.
What are you trying to do to us?
Merely trying to prevent you from damaging my experiment, gentlemen.
You can't get away with this, Dorchin. Sooner or later, somebody, the FBI or somebody, is going to get wind of this madness.
Oh, now, really, Burkhardt, you're quite naive. Now, why don't you be reasonable and let the maintenance crew adjust you?
If I refuse, I suppose you'll kill me.
That would be quite impossible.
Oh?
You see, Burkhardt, you're already dead.
Dead?
You're shocked. It's quite true. You and everyone else in this town were killed by premature atomic blast at the Control Chemical Plant. The blast occurred at 7 a.m. on June 15th. That's the last thing imprinted on your minds. That's why you wake up screaming each morning.
It isn't true.
Oh, but it is. What I and my associates did was take the brain circuits from your dead bodies. We stored them in electrochemical batteries until we had a chance to rebuild the cities and begin our tests.
Do you think I believe a fantastic tale like that?
I imagine you find it incredible. Of course, we didn't rebuild everything exactly. After all, it only has to last for a single day. June 15. At midnight, we turn off the power and wash out the memory of the day. You and your friend Swanson, unfortunately, have defective circuits. You'll remember.
Burkhardt, it's no use. We're trapped. Please give up.
Not me.
But what can we do?
We can make a run for it down the tunnel. Come on.
It's useless, Burkhardt.
Keep going.
It's useless. Useless.
Burkhardt, it's no use. You go ahead. I'm finished.
Look, we're almost at the end of the tunnel. I can see a door. Here, I'll help you.
No, I can't.
Just a little further.
No.
Now, here. Here, this door is open. It opens. Oh, no. I don't believe it.
I can't run anymore.
Come on.
Sorry. You go ahead.
Look.
I'm finished.
Look, we're almost at the end of the tunnel.
They were
I can see a
standing
door.
on a ledge,
Here,
smooth,
I'll help you.
finished
I
metal.
can't.
Just
At
a
their
little
feet, the ledge
further.
dropped away into a chasm so deep
Now
they could
here.
not see the bottom.
This door is open.
Beyond was only a glare so bright that their eyes could not stand to look into it. And yet, just beyond the limit of their vision, something towered. Something so huge it was almost inconceivable. Something...
Burkhardt.
Yes?
This is Dorchin. Now, do you understand why it's useless?
The great looming figure moved closer. It seemed to take shape now, and yet it was so gigantic as to be unbelievable. It came closer. The glare was partially blocked, and then Guy Burkhardt knew that the towering shape was none other than Dorchin himself.
You see how I did it, Burkhardt? I took your brain circuits and had them reduced so they could be transferred to tiny humanoid mannequins. That's what you are, Burkhardt. A tiny miniature of yourself. And this city, this whole experiment I'm conducting, is built on a tabletop.
It was the morning of June 15th, and Guy Burkhardt woke up screaming.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features Man of Distinction by Michael Shara. Being completely unique in this world is not only a mathematical impossibility, it is also a matter of pride. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you The Tunnel Under the World, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by Frederick Pohl and adapted for radio by George Lefferts. Featured in the cast were Norman Rose, Dean Almquist, Amy Siddell, Elaine Rost, Bob Hastings, Ken Rapif, and Larry Haynes. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Scott Buckley and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Fed up with the everyday grind. Tired out from the summer heat. Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are caught in a web of nightmare, struggling to free yourself from sleep, while constantly, threateningly, your destruction draws closer, and you know unless you awake, the ultimate conclusion is death.
Tonight, we escape to 2200 AD and the fearsome picture of the last days of civilization, as H.G. Wells told it in his terrifying story, Dream of Armageddon.
From the very beginning, the dream was quite vivid and real. Much more real than the dull world of business that moves by day. And in a short time, I began to thrust the waking world aside and live my life wholly in the dream, night by night. I was not then aware, of course, of the hideous ending to come. A thing so horrible to face that even though I doze now in my chair, I dare not sleep. I can't recall exactly when the dream, if it is a dream, first began. Oh, a month ago, perhaps. At any rate, I fell asleep in my flat and awoke in another place and another time. That is to say, as I fell asleep here, I awoke there, far away on an island in the Mediterranean, and hundreds of years in the future.
Eden. Eden, you must wake up now.
Wake up? But where am I?
Here with me, of course. Oh, Eden, my dear, you've been dreaming.
Oh, yes. Yes, I remember now. It was such a vivid dream. I thought I was a man living hundreds of years ago. Silly, but it took me a moment to shake it off.
And was I there with you? In the dream, I mean.
You're here with me now. That's the important thing. Has there been no word? Nothing has changed?
Nothing. Otherwise, I should have awakened you.
Good. Perhaps they've finally decided to leave us alone.
I hope so. I couldn't stand much more of it. Our faces on every telescreen all over the world. Scandal criers saying things.
It doesn't matter, Noma. It's over. We've left all that behind us in the north. We're going to be very happy here.
Oh, my darling, we have to be. It's the only thing that will justify what you did.
Noma, can you doubt that we will? Come here. Look out through the glass wall there. Blue sea down below us, pale hills and the far-off mainland. Why, is there any more perfect place to be happy than here in Capri?
And what of the woman you brought with you? Did you not perhaps give up too much for her? Pay too great a price?
You're worth more than all of it, Noma.
You make me feel very humble. You were the most powerful man on earth, council master of the allied nations of the North, the ruler of 1 billion people.
1 billion fools. Why, had they not been, they would have accepted you.
They felt they had reasons.
Reasons? Could not permit me to marry beneath my station now. I've given my whole life to them until now. Has a man no right to happiness, Noma? They follow their own desires. Why shouldn't I do the same for once?
Why not, indeed? I've no answer for you, beloved. I'm proud and humble for what you did. But also a little afraid.
Afraid of what?
I don't know, Hedon, I don't know, but the Vicetel.
Your pardon, Master Hedon. May I have your attention, please?
Yes, go ahead. What is it?
There is one here who desires to speak with you.
I'll see no one. I've told you that.
He tells me to say the white grasses grow tall in the north and reach above the snow.
Hedon, it's a messenger from the council.
Yes. Very well, send him up.
What does it mean? Have they thought of some new way to...
No, my darling, it is nothing. You'll talk of duty again and all the other things, the same kind of talk. It can't be anything else.
If only they'd chosen someone besides Evesham to govern.
But they did choose him. If he doesn't suit them, they can find someone else. I'll have no part of it.
He's such a fool, such a stupid, blundering fool.
Well, perhaps they need a fool. Perhaps that's why... Oh, there's the messenger. Come in.
I must beg you to pardon this intrusion, Master Hedon, but the council considers the matter of the greatest importance.
It's all right. Now, what is it you wish?
If we could speak alone, perhaps.
I have no secrets from the lady. She knows everything. Now, what is it?
I am empowered by the council to ask you to return at once and take charge of the government again.
Alone?
Yes, that would be required, of course.
Then the council wastes my time and theirs.
But there have been new developments. Evesham already has begun the moves we've always feared he would. Now, no one but you can stop this madness, this foolish ambition of his.
And more's the pity, for I do not choose to do anything about it.
You know what it means, of course.
I know nothing of the affairs of government. I am a private citizen engaged in seeking happiness.
Master Hedon, do you believe that one man can work out his fate, apart and separate from the fate of all mankind?
You may leave now. You may go back and tell the council that I have no concern in their problems now or ever.
Very well, Master Hedon. But if you should decide differently, decide quickly, for there is very little time.
Oh, Eden, is it true? Will it really come to that?
Probably the South and the East are not easily bluffed. But
war. Loose in the world again for the first time in 100 years. War again.
They don't know what it is.
No, they don't. They've never seen it. Eden, you can't let it happen.
No, my darling, I've made a choice, and it's final. If it comes to war and the whole world falls in ruins, then I'll live on in the ruins. But I'll live there with you. That's final.
Eden, I'm afraid.
I calmed her fears at last with many brave prophecies of the joys we should find in our life together. And as we talked and watched the sun sink finally in the waters of the quiet sea, the blusterings of Evesham seemed far away, and the threat of war no more than a part of some nightmare. At a late hour, we fell asleep.
Henry.
Hmm?
Henry, wake up. I said wake up. Can't see why you always have to wait for me to shut off that clock.
Sorry, dear. I was dreaming.
Dreaming, indeed. Now get yourself dressed. You want to be late again this week?
Good chance of war. I don't know just what I can do about it.
Oh, Henry, for pity's sake.
One thing certain, I won't give her up, no matter what happens.
Her?
I...
Who's her?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm getting up right this minute. I'll get dressed right away.
Henry,
no, there's no need to get excited, dear. There's plenty of time to catch the 7:12.
I never saw such a man in my life. Wasn't for me telling you what to do, I don't know what would become of you.
All that day at my office, I kept thinking about the dream. It was hard to remember that it had been a dream. It had been so real as everyday things going on around me. Perhaps even more real. Certainly more desirable. For, as you may have guessed, my daily life held little of interest. But in the dream, everything was different. There I could be the great Master Hedon, controlling the destinies of millions of people, feeling for the first time in my life a deep and exhilarating sense of power, so sharp in its contrast with the drab, waking life I lead. And most of all, I could not forget the girl, the way she looked, the glorious way that she... Well, no matter. All day I kept wondering if I should be able to find the place again, so far away in space and time. Too long delayed, the night came at last, and I went to bed hopefully. But nothing happened. There was no dream. For 3 nights there was no dream, and I grew frantic with worry, with longing for her. And then came the 4th night.
Careful, darling. Watch where you're going. You almost fell over those rocks.
I'm sorry. I guess I was thinking of something else.
Yes, for 3 days now. You haven't been yourself at all.
Well, there are so many things to think about.
It's all right, Eden. I've known you were thinking of it constantly, even though you've not mentioned it.
There's nothing new, is there?
What?
I mean, well, have you had any word that you've kept from me? Thought it best to? Something of that sort?
No, Eden, no. I've had no word from the North. No one here has, yet everyone seems to sense it. There's a fever in the air, tenseness, as though they could smell something. The smell of war, perhaps.
There'll be no war. Once Evesham knows his bluff's been called, he'll back down.
You know him better than that. You'll count on that blind luck of his to see him through. And you could stop him, Eden. You could still go back.
There'll be no going back.
How can we hope to find happiness for ourselves if millions die because of us?
If it should start, it can't last long. People in the world today have no idea what war is. When they find out, they'll have no part of it.
When they find out, it'll be too late. There'll be blood on the ground then, and hate and vengeance. And there can be no stopping it.
Then why should not... Well, then the fools shouldn't... They shouldn't start it then.
But they are fools. You said yourself...
What?
Look.
Oh, planes. Some special pleasure flight from the north, I suppose.
Eden, they don't look like transports. They're not built the same. They're like pictures
No,
of the
you're
old.
right. Those are warplanes. Those are bombers.
It's begun already.
No, but it's part of the bluff and the dangerous part. Why, those planes have been stored away for 100 years. I knew of them, of course. All the council did, but I never thought I'd see them in the air.
I fear it's a wrong, terrible thing we've done. And I'm afraid. But it would be a lie, my beloved, if I said I was sorry.
No more warplanes came to Capri in the next 2 days. But the sight and the sound of the first ones had been enough. The peaceful island of pleasure became a beehive of belligerent activity. Preparation for war by a people who had never known anything but peace. Old weapons, relics for years, came out of storage places, were cleaned, polished, made ready. Big guns appeared as if by magic, were quickly set in placements about the rocky isle. Norma and I took no part in the madness about us, but walked alone from the others. She with a growing sadness, and I with a swelling hatred for blind, blundering Evesham, and for the stupidity he'd called forth now in mankind. And then, late afternoon of the third day.
But why? Why do they act as if they might come here, Eden? If there were a war, it could never reach to Capri.
Who knows why they act or what they think? There's no reasoning in them. They're like sheep, anxious to get their throats cut and have it over with.
It was all so beautiful, Eden.
Oh, Norma, it still is. All this has nothing to do with us. We've turned our backs on it. What they do now is their own concern. This can't touch us.
It's so terrible to think about it. Eden, look. Planes have come back.
Yes.
Coming over the hills there.
He's still playing the same old game. Oh, how long can that blundering Evesham hope to... Norma, these are not the same ones.
What do you mean?
I know the shape of these. These are warplanes from the south.
Then, oh no, it can't mean anything. Was that what they call a bomb?
That was what they call war.
War. Eden, I want to see it. All its horror and idiocy. I want to see it.
Not too close to the window, Norma.
Look, down there by the edge of the water. Where the little pavilion was, Eden. There's nothing but broken rocks and smoke drifting up.
Yes, that's where the first bomb went.
But why should they wish to destroy a little summer pavilion?
An accident. They were trying there for the docks.
We swam there every morning. Do you remember how clear and how clean the water was? There must be blood in it now.
Norma, there's no good in that kind of thinking. This is what they chose. Now they've got it.
They couldn't have known it would be like this.
Perhaps not, but that can't be helped now. It's too late now for them ever to turn back.
How could they ever? Eden, look!
No, get back!
Look, Eden, that plane. Along the beach. The whole promenade. Hundreds of people and children, too. I don't want to see any more, not ever.
We've got to find some way to get out of here. Some way. Capri is right in the middle of it.
It was so beautiful here. Why should anyone make war on Capri?
Why? War has a bad habit of spreading everywhere once it's turned loose. Just a moment.
Supervisor from 22.
I'd like a private plane and a pilot right away. Destination to be decided.
Sorry, sir. All planes have been taken over by the government. General order by Master Evesham.
Confound it. All right. What about a boat?
Power boats have been taken over. Perhaps a few small sailing craft may be still available.
Find out. Get me a navigator and enough crewmen.
Sorry, sir. The government has ordered all able-bodied...
All right. Just get me a boat then. Buy it, charter it, whatever's necessary. I'll sail it myself.
Yes, sir.
Where can we go, Eden?
I don't know anywhere but here.
Yes, and let's go quickly. Take me away someplace, Eden, far away. Anywhere but here.
Then flight. Days of flight from stolid death in his military boots who tramped always just behind us. Never far away. I fought to stay asleep, to stay with my dream, to stay with Noma. I cursed each time I awoke.
I simply can't understand you, Henry. You moon around the house like a lovesick calf. Haven't been to the office in 3 days. Don't you have any consideration for your job or for me? Do you want to see us kicked out into the street like tramps without a cent to our name?
My waking life became the vague movement of shadow figures of which I remember nothing now. But my life in the dream was very real. Oh, yes, very real.
No. I've just come from there. You cannot go through the pass.
Why can't we?
It is impossible. You must go back to the coast quickly.
Eden, can't you explain to him? We must find some place to buy food. We've had nothing to eat for 2 days.
No, lady. There is no food here. Everyone is starving. Pestilence has broken out.
Pestilence?
Horrible plague. Came suddenly. Already, people of 2 villages are lying dead in the gutters. Spreading very quickly.
Come, Noma. Let's go back to the boat. We tried first to land somewhere along the southern shore of the Mediterranean. We found it everywhere the same. In some places, the people were dying of disease and starvation. In others, they were dying of bleeding burns from the flame of war. But always, they would die.
Eden, everywhere we go, we find death. Dead bodies. More and more all the time. What's happening? Has the whole world gone mad? Is the whole world dying?
Back again to the north and a landing on the peninsula. Then pushing our way overland, trying to find some haven in a world intent on smashing itself to bloody fragments. Fleeing from the idiot fury around us and being blocked at every turn.
You cannot go there. You must turn back immediately.
Why? Why must we turn back when there's no place left to go back to? Back where?
That I cannot tell you. But if you go farther, you will die. They have used poison gas, and the area is contaminated over hundreds of miles. I've seen people die from it. It is not a pretty sight.
Death everywhere.
Of course, if you would like to stay here, I'm sure we can take care of that pretty little throat of yours. Yes, indeed, we can.
There were no real battle lines as yet. No armies. The thing had come too fast. But everywhere roving bands fought, plundered, killed one another. Sometimes not even knowing if they were killing friend or foe. And always overhead were the planes, humming like hawks, killing anything that moved.
Eden, do you think he sees us?
I'm not sure, Noma. Don't move. Don't move. He's heading toward us, all right.
Eden, we can't just lie
Don't
here.
move, Noma. By heaven, I think it is us.
Look.
Where?
That old woman walking on the road. Doesn't she know? Oh, Eden, horrible. Horrible.
Noma, no. Let's go. It wasn't us he was after. And so, for love and for reason, on and on, day after day, we fled from the monster stupidity of war, till at last we could flee no farther. We found ourselves at dawn one morning in an open space near those great ruined temples at Paestum. Roman ruins that have stood for centuries were still standing even then. We sat and watched the sunrise, the most beautiful I've ever seen. We said little to one another. Low hills broke away below us, dotted here and there by trees, low thickets of laurel between. The great stones of the temples above us were pale pink in the morning sun. And the silence was everywhere. Silence and a false feeling of peace.
This morning, looking out there, one would never know.
Oh, it's beautiful. But we can't stop here no more. We're only hours away from it now.
How much farther, Eden? How far must we run now?
I don't know, my dear. It seems to be everywhere.
Sometimes these last few nights, I've looked up at the stars and I've thought, all of this is happening because of us. We're to blame for it, you know.
No, darling. No, we tried to find happiness, that's all. Can there be anything evil in that?
I don't know, Keaton, but I'm afraid. Had you not run away with me, this would not have happened. Millions of people must die for our happiness. Something is wrong.
Well, the blame lies with them. They die for their own stupidity.
We are not stupid. We could have prevented it. Had you gone back and left
No,
me...
No, my darling. Now, there'll be no talk of that kind. We'll still find... We will. The chance to work things out somewhere.
I have a strange feeling, Eden. We shan't have any more chances. We owe some kind of debt. We're going to have to pay for it very soon.
Oh, you're tired, Norma. That's why you talk this way. You'll soon
Look,
feel...
Eden, another flight of planes.
Yes, they're everywhere now.
Like vultures hovering, watching and waiting everywhere.
Norma, we'll find someplace yet. Someplace. Norma, get down! Norma, you all right?
Eden, I love...
Norma. I sat there on the ground for hours, holding her body close. I was only dimly aware that she no longer lived. Time had no meaning. The world receded far away. The shadows of afternoon pointed all one way, and my thoughts were only dreams within a dream. I must have stared at them for several minutes, not realizing who they were, watching them approach through the bushes. For they came within yards before it struck me suddenly. Those uniforms. They were soldiers of the South and the East. With only one thought in mind, I jumped to my feet and ran toward them. No, it's all right. It's all right. You don't need those guns. I mean no harm. You see, I only wanted you not to come here. It's my wife. She's dead. There's no one else here. No, put away the bayonet. There's no need for it. You can take your men around the other... Now, what are you going to do? No! Oh. I lay there on the ground for a long time after they left. At first, I tried to crawl back to her, but I couldn't. Then later, I was unconscious. Whether this be Armageddon, that last flaming end of the world, I do not know. But of this I am sure. When the end does come, it shall come through man's unheeding selfishness, through man's stupidity. For when man stood up and learned to think and was no longer an animal, he became one with the gods, and like the gods must take heed of the fate of mankind. This I know. Always before I had longed desperately to escape into the dream. But now with equal desperation, I fear to do so. For Eden's world is dying now, shuddering in the last great convulsions of its death agony. Over the whole great landscape of Earth lie the rotting, disfigured bodies of the dead. The sad sun gleams with a pale and ghastly light through the smothering curtain formed by the hideous fumes of war. The moans of the half-dead swell up from the plains of earth, fill the vast emptiness of the heavens, and go unanswered. Starvation, pestilence, war and death. The whole world is dying. Eden, too, is dead. He died hours before I awoke this morning. His body still lies before the silent temples at Paestum. Yet in the dream, I still occupied his body. After he was dead. Great vultures came and tore with their beaks and claws, and I was still conscious. I was still conscious. Now tonight, because of that, though I grow faint with weariness, I dare not go to sleep. In the name of heaven, how long will a dream go on?
Escape is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Tonight we have brought you Dream of Armageddon by H.G. Wells, adapted for radio by Les Crutchfield, with editorial supervision by John Dunkel. Featured in tonight's story were Stacey Harris and Betty Lou Gerson, with Charlotte Lawrence, Jack Crucian, Eric Rolfe, and John Daner. Special music by Ivan Ditmars. Next week.
You are standing in the light of an arc lamp by the cathedral in Mexico City, looking at a dead body lying at your feet, and a great fear comes over you as you wonder if you are a haunted man.
Next week, we escape with Ralph Bates' most unusual story, The Haunted Man. Good night, then, until this same time next week, when once again we offer you Escape. Roy Rowan speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Adventures in the world of tomorrow. Dramatic stories of science fiction from the years beyond 2000 AD. Today, the story of a horrible nightmare that wouldn't stop, even when the dreamer woke up. A story called The Green Thing. It is the year year 2000 plus 175. It is late evening, and all is peaceful and quiet in Dr. Harvey Glendon's sanitarium. Outside, on a vast estate that stretches away from the main building, there are only the soft country noises, the wind sighing in the trees, the shrill chirpings of innumerable crickets. In the well-furnished rooms, the patients sleep, stretched out on comfortable mattresses and clean white sheets, the country breezes straying over their forms. In room 32B, Mr. Summers sleeps peacefully with his head on a fluffy pillow. He sleeps and he dreams.
Help me! Help me! Please!
So, in the light of the growing psychological problems facing our nation, the government has sent me to you, Dr. Glendon, to enlist your aid, since you're the country's outstanding psychiatrist.
Well, I'm honored indeed, Mr. Carley. But I don't know that there's much I can tell you about the advancement of psychiatric research that isn't being published in the medical journals.
Well, Dr. Glendon, isn't there anything that you're working on now, something definite? I know you're a cautious scholar, but...
Look, Mr. Carling, it isn't possible to announce sweeping new generalizations in our kind of science. Our work is painstaking, complex, highly subjective. You take the case of one of the patients here in the sanitarium. Oh, Betty, will you bring our records of Mr. Summers?
Oh, yes, Dr. Glendon, just one moment.
Summers is about 40, 41. He was admitted 5 months ago, suffering from a melancholia.
Here are the records, Doctor.
Oh, thanks, Betty. Now, as you can see from these notations, he's been feeling much better the past few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I see.
Until last night, when he suddenly woke up screaming in his bed. He was being attacked, he shouted, by some sort of green devil. We had the hardest job getting him under control. Now, in the past, Summers had spoken quite often of a green hat that he lost as a child. His father, he remembered, had punished him severely for losing it. In later life...
Dr. Glendon, this is all very interesting, but you can hardly call this dream analysis anything new.
Yes, it has been known for centuries.
Well, then I don't understand...
Mr. Carling, I know why you came to see me. Apparently, I haven't been able to keep my achievement as secret as I'd hoped.
That's right, sir. We've heard rumors.
All right, Mr. Carling. I've said that Mr. Summers' dream is very unusual. Now, would you like to see it?
You mean see his dream?
Exactly. I'm going to show you a motion picture of Mr. Summers' dream. Photographed from the subconscious mind, exactly as he dreamed it. I attach special nerve electrodes, and these electrodes pick up the current impulses of the brain. Then these impulses are transmuted back into pictures on the film of the machine. Really very similar to the method of wireless photography.
Here's Mr. Summers' dream reel, Doctor.
Oh, fine. Thank you, Eddie. The projector tube is ready, so I just place the dream reel in it. And there. Hold on to your hat, Mr. Carling. You're going to see an actual dream.
Yes, very well, Mr. Klauber. 3 slices of lemon drops will do. He thinks I don't see him putting the pennies in his pocket when he knows they belong to me.
3 slices of lemon drops it is, little boy.
I'm not a little boy, Klauber, and you know it. I'm all grown up, and I don't come to your store anymore. I don't even live here anymore, and you steal pennies.
All right. Get out now, little boy. Take your lemon drops and get out. Get out.
Music. I didn't know Klauber had music in his store. I don't like his music. I'll slam his door. I'll go out in the street. Now there won't be any more penny-stealing music. Oh, what's that? It won't go away. It won't go away.
Summers, I am calling you.
What's that? It's not Klauber. It's green. It's a monster with great pink eyes on long stalks. It's standing in front of me. It has claws.
You're not the little boy anymore, Summers.
No, don't touch me with your claws.
Come with me now, Summers. You're mine. You belong to me.
No. You're touching me. Don't. Don't help me. Help me, please.
Betty got to him at that moment, and the dream machine shut off.
Phew, some dream. What effect will the discovery of this dream machine have on psychiatric research, Dr. Glendon?
Well, I've only just perfected it about 4 or 5 months ago. We've got perhaps 40 or 50 photographed dreams in our files.
40 or 50?
Yeah. However, as far as developing new techniques and treatment, maybe years before I can get them analyzed and correlated so that overall theories can be drawn from them.
As long as that?
So now you understand, Mr. Cowling, why it's a little difficult for me to answer your questions.
That dream was fascinating. I've never seen anything like it. Doctor, I know I'm presuming on your time, but I'd like to see just one more. I'll have to report on these at the government bureau.
Well, only one more, though. I'm sorry, but I'm quite busy.
What about this one here? The purple tag. What's that for?
I haven't seen that one myself yet. Purple tag means it's from the violent ward. Mr. Rolfe. Sick man. Well, we'll try it. All set?
Three white mice. How'd you do, Mrs. Kemp? For I'm climbing a wall, and there's only 2 of us. Yes, now 1. Me, I'm all alone. Don't take that balloon.
Can't make much sense of that.
Gibberish, I'm afraid. Rolfe's a difficult case. Homicidal tendencies. Comes from a good family. Was a very successful businessman.
Shame. Can you do anything for him?
Oh, I think so. There are times when he can be reached, lucid moments. And some of his dreams provide clues. Here, see?
Now, 74. That'll show him. 74. You're not frightening me. I don't believe you. You can't scare me. Oh, no. Don't touch me. Your claws, your green claws. Oh, your green claws.
Doctor, look. On the screen. Look, there it is again. That green thing. No. It can't be. It's impossible. 2 people can't possibly have the same dream.
I don't understand it, Betty. I can't understand it. I've been through all the records of both of them, Summers and Rolfe. There's nothing in their background that would cause them to have the same dream. Are you sure they haven't been together at some time?
I'm positive, Doctor, they haven't even met. Mr. Rolfe came here only a month ago, and he was placed in the violent ward immediately. He's never been out of it.
It's possible for people to have similar dreams, yes, but never to dream of the same unusual, horrible, specific subject as that green thing. Every detail was the same. The pink eyes, the claws. Makes me shudder myself. Betty, I want our dream reels, all those I haven't seen.
Oh, now, you're not going to view them all. It would take you...
I don't care how long it takes. I want to see them all. I've got a funny feeling inside. And I won't be at ease until I know, until I'm sure.
Sure of what, Dr. Glendon?
Sure that none of the other patients have had that dream. That same horrible dream of that green thing.
Dream 9, Mrs. Dorban. Shall I put the sound on?
Oh, no, not necessary. We can see it if it appears. No, nothing here.
Dream 10, Miss Farnham.
No, nothing.
I don't think we'll find anything, Doctor. It must have been a freak, a coincidence.
Keep going, keep going.
Dream 11, Mr. Craig.
Dream 21.
Nothing there either.
Dream 22. Huh. Maybe you're right, Betty. I'm beginning to think myself...
Dr. Glendon! Dr. Glendon, look! There it is!
A green thing.
Dream 42, Mr. Bradley.
Turn off the sound. Turn it off. That's it again. A green thing. Four of them, Carling. 4 dreams of that monstrous green thing.
Each one from a different patient?
And each one during the past week. Darling, there's something there. Something to make even a psychiatrist feel frightened. Darling, the patients weren't having a dream. They couldn't be. They had nothing in common but the fact that they're in this sanitarium. Why, even the nature of their illnesses are different.
Doctor, aren't you getting a little mixed up yourself?
Huh?
You saw those dreams. I saw them. Betty saw them. I know it's incredible.
Listen, to have a dream means that you create that dream. You and nobody else.
You mean you think the patients didn't create those dreams? They're not their dreams?
There is such a thing as thought projection.
Mental telepathy?
Yeah.
Why should anyone want
Someone
to...
may have found out about the dream machine. Maybe jealousy or grudge or a hatred of psychiatry in general. There are many reasons. Well, what we've got to do is to find out where it's coming from. The patients must be protected.
How?
First, we've got to find out whether this telepathy is coming from inside or outside the sanitarium. Then we've got to track it down. I tell you, Carling, whoever's trying this terror by mental telepathy isn't going to get away with it. I'm not going to stand by while a lifetime's work is destroyed by a campaign of terror against my patients. I'm going to institute protective measures at once.
Anything yet, Doctor?
Oh, I still have the Garda screen beamed on the area directly around the main building. I don't expect to find anything so close, but I want to search every inch of the grounds.
You still feel whoever it is on the grounds?
Can't be sure of anything, except that I'm convinced that the staff is loyal, and I have a hunch that whoever is transmitting these thought waves will want to be close enough to judge the results.
Shall I bring the patients down now, Dr. Brendan?
Oh, yes, Betty. Go get them, will you, please? It's just possible that they may be able to help us. They may have felt currents emanating from a certain direction.
I think the Garda screen has reached its range limit, Doctor. It's repeating itself.
All right, I'll give it wider focus. I'm going into the grounds now.
Wait, there's something. A figure on the screen.
Yeah, I see him.
He's carrying a club, a stick or something. Who is it, Doctor? Can you tell?
I don't want to alarm him. I'll signal the patrol corps.
Let me. It's that red button on the wall, isn't it?
Oh, no, Carling. Never mind. That is one of the patrol corps. I can see his armband.
Too bad.
Well, I'll switch the machine to the north fringe.
There's another figure. Is that... It isn't...
We seem to be well guarded. Another member of the patrol corps. Well, let's hope the patients will be able to...
Here's Betty.
Doctor. Doctor.
She's alone.
Betty, where are the patients?
They're gone, Doctor. What? They've disappeared. And a fifth patient has just begun screaming in his room, the green thing, the green thing. 64, all accounted for, Doctor. The 4 that are missing would make 68. That's how many patients we have.
I checked the nurses, 8 besides Betty. And they're all here.
And the patrol corps have checked the rest of the staff, and no one has left the grounds except the 4 patients.
Unless somebody got in and carried them off.
No jetmobiles and no jet ships have been in the vicinity between the time the patients were last reported and now. The patrol corps will vouch for that.
There's the village.
Linfield? Oh, it's the only village for 100 miles, but it's a backwoods country village, a quaint place, never kept up to the times. No, I doubt that they have any jetmobiles in Linfield, much less jet ships.
But you can arrange for transportation there, can't you?
The inn? Why, that's where they go. Why didn't I think of that before? It's the center of the village, the gossip spot. If the patients entered town at all, news of them would spread to the inn. Betty, you take charge here. Carling and I are going to Linfield.
How long will you be gone, Doctor?
Until we find them. Or learn they're no longer alive.
Show the I can't help you none, Doctor. I ain't seen no strangers, spoke to no strangers, or heard of no strangers.
Well, how about transportation, jetmobiles or jet ships?
Ain't put in any calls for jetmobile service nigh on to 2 months. Not since Miss Jennings busted her leg, and we had to send her to the hospital in the city.
Oh.
Jet ships? Why, last time one of them flaming monsters landed here, we nearly had a riot in Linfield. Darn fools all thought 'twas invasion from Mars.
Just ran a wild goose chase, Doctor. Yeah, so it seems. Well, thanks anyhow, Mr. Barker. You've been very helpful.
Haunts, he says. The blasted idiot believes in haunts.
I do. Everyone knows there's ghosts everywhere.
Idiot, there's no such thing as ghosts.
There are ghosts. There are ghosts in every village and town.
Quiet down, you boys. You'll be getting my end a bad reputation now.
Hey, there's the doctor. Dr. Glendon talking to Mr. Barker. I put it up to him now. What'd you say, Doc? There's no such thing as haunts, ghosts, are there now? Hey, you tell my ignorant friend.
I wasn't listening very carefully. But if it's ghosts you're talking about, well, there's never been any scientific evidence that they exist.
Haunts don't exist. That's what you're trying to say, ain't it, Doc?
That's right. Oh, come on, Carling. Let's get out of here.
Hey, there ain't no ghosts. This Doc's an educated man. He knows.
Yeah? Then suppose you tell me what that green thing was floating around down near the caves. And we ain't the only one who's seen it. Right, boys?
A green thing? Where? Where are these caves?
Right down the river. Why, Doc? You ain't going there. It's nighttime now.
Carling, will you risk it?
I've got my ray gun. Doc, you're crazy. I'm telling you, there's a haunt. Why, there ain't a man in this whole village go with you tonight.
Well, if it's only a ghost, you needn't worry. But if we're not out of those caves by dawn, you better come for us. It won't be a ghost that's holding us. This must be the right cave, Carling. It's the only one with a brush trampled down in front of it.
Eerie as a tomb in here.
Quiet.
I don't hear anything.
Well, they just don't want to be taken by surprise. Have to be as quiet as possible. All right, come on. Hey, what's that? Carling, where are you? Carling, are you all right?
Coming for me. The green thing, it's gone. It's terrible.
No, there's nothing there. You're on the floor of the cave, but there's no one near you. Nothing. Why, he's asleep. He's having the dream. That same dream. Come on, Carling. Come on, snap out of it, Carling. It's only a dream. Only a dream.
Coming.
I feel dizzy, tired. What's the matter with me? I'm falling asleep. No, I won't hurt myself.
Dr. Glendon, I am calling you. You must come with me.
No, I won't. I'll fight you.
Come with me, Dr. Glendon. I control you now.
No, the claws! No, it's just a dream. I know it's a dream. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to wake up. I did it. I'm awake. I conquered the green thing.
Did you conquer me, Dr. Glendon?
I can't be. Standing over me. The pink eyes and long stalks. The claws. The green thing.
here, Dr. Glendon. Into this rough chamber. And you, Mr. Carling, don't worry. You won't fall. My will is controlling you.
My patients. Over there in the corner. Rolfe, Bradley, Summers, Gordon. Now, what have you done to them? Summers, are you all right? Bradley, this is Dr. Glendon, your doctor. What's the matter with him? Gardner, Bradley.
Nothing is the matter with them. They just don't understand you anymore. They are attuned only to Venusian thought wave.
Venusians? You're from the planet Venus?
That is right. For a long time, we have been observing your Earth, your resources, and your remarkable technology. But we did not know how to conquer you, for we of Venus have no strength or physical dexterity, only mental power.
You shouldn't have told me that. I'm going to beat that horrible body of yours to a pulpy green mess.
You hit only air, didn't you? I'm growing tired of this game. Stop. I will that your arms obey me and not you.
I can't move them. Carling, help me!
Do not be foolish again, and I will return their motion.
You hypnotized my patients the same way, didn't you? Are those dreams?
A little more complicated than what you Earthlings call hypnosis. But it is mind control. I have come to Earth to prove to my planet that this is the way to conquer your Earth. We will control the minds of its inhabitants and thereby control their strength, their physical dexterity. I began on your patients first because their minds are more easily controlled.
What do you want of them?
Their bodies. They can perform physical acts that I cannot. With their bodies, we Venusians can continue our investigation of your planet at close range. And we can also study the structure of the Earthling when I bring them back with me.
Bring them back? To Venus?
Do not worry, my dear doctor. I shall not separate them from you. I will also take you and your companion with me to Venus as rare prizes. Earthling, bind these two men.
No, don't do it, man. I'm your friend, your doctor. No, let me go. Let me go. Carling, you shot him. You shot the monster.
Forgot about me. Maybe he didn't know the Earthlings had weapons, too, like ray guns.
Well, why doesn't he fall? He's still standing.
Did you really think you could hurt me with that? Your death rays have no effect on my body. Drop your weapon. Bind them, men.
I'll shoot them. I'll kill you, slave.
You cannot. But if you could, I would not care. There are millions more to choose from. You can kill yourselves, too. You are replaceable, except to yourselves. You are trapped. Your only escape is death.
Walls, they're crumbling. The explosion of your ray gun, Carling, you've loosened the rocks. It's a cave-in. We'll be buried alive. The corridor, quick. To the corridor. Grab the patients before the green thing controls us again. They can follow us. It's our only chance. the cave. Hurry, Doctor. It's blocked. The rocks have fallen here, too. There's one big one just at the mouth. If you move that one, I think we can make it. All right, help me, Doctor. I'll get the patients, too. All right, come on, then. Here. Pull. That's right. That's it. It's moving. All right, one more. Now we can squeeze through now. You go first, Doctor. Pull the patients after you. All right. All right, I'm out. Now, Rolf, come on. That's it. All right, Bradley, you next. Come on. That's the way. All right, you, Summers. Hurry, Doctor. Quick, now, come on. All right, Gardner, quick. You, all right. It's all right there. All right, now you, Carlin. I can make it.
Help.
Good.
Help me. Earthlings. I cannot escape.
He can't squeeze through. He has no physical strength.
Earthlings. Come to me.
Patience. They're going to him. He still has power over them. Come on, Carlin, quick. Before they release him, help me shove this rock over the opening. Come on, quick.
No.
There he goes. Thank goodness. Hey, what's that? Look out, step back! It collapsed. The entire cave fell in. We were just in time. Yes, Carling. In time to save Earth from the horror of green things.
Next week, an incredible story about a man of science who dared tamper with the secret of human life. Be sure to listen to That Which Lived in a Head of Steel. 2000 Plus is produced by Dreyer and Wilson Productions Incorporated. In today's cast, Lon Clark played Glendon, Joseph Julian was Carling, Hester Sondergaard was Miss Connors, Gilbert Mack was Rolf, John Griggs was Summers, and Henry Norrell was the Green Thing. The script was written by Edgar Marvin. The music was composed by Elliot Jacoby. The orchestra conducted by Emerson Buckley. Sound, Walt Shaver and Adrian Penner. Engineer, Bob Albrecht. This is Ken Marvin.
I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome to the world of terrifying imagination, the fear you can hear. This time, a contemporary tale concerning the ill-fated flight of the first American woman astronaut, the flight of the Diana I. A tale of 3 astronauts who reached Skylab only to be literally snatched into the void. But before Diana I ever left the ground, the aura of doom hovered around her as she stood poised on the launching pad.
This is Diana Control. We've been holding at T-minus 45 minutes while a faulty computer monitoring the loading of propellant has failed. This is a scrub. We will set back countdown to T-minus 13 hours. McDonald at Capcom. Gordon, do you read me?
I read you.
I'm sorry for the bad news. It's a scrub.
Roger.
Tell Luke I'm sorry, too. And, what do I say to the doctor?
Same thing. Same for all of us on the team.
Yeah, but it's tougher on her. I mean, you know, the disappointment. First American woman into space and all.
Terry will manage it. Don't you worry about her. Over and out.
Roger. Only I do worry. ships, whether they ride on air or water, just don't mix with women. Our mystery drama, Out of Sight, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars Julia Mead. It might have been far better if the scrub on the Diana 1 had been a total. This was only another in the long series of delays that had plagued the spaceship and haunted not only the astronauts themselves, but the ground crew as well. Returning to the compound from the launching, the most concerned of all was the first of our lady astronauts.
I don't mind admitting it, but I really feel like as bursting into tears.
Who doesn't?
Well, the difference is you're a man, and I'm a woman.
No doubt of that. Although I must say I go for you a lot more as you are now than in the spacesuit.
Down, boy. Back off, Marine.
Hey, what are you getting so sore about, Navy? You got her.
And I mean to keep her.
Yes, sir, Captain. I mean, Commander. Hey, don't pass my digs.
Are we all having dinner together?
Yeah, sure thing, but I want to get me a shower and a shave first. We were up on that rocket so long, I practically grew a beard on my knees. Well, I'll see you later.
Good old Luke. I'm glad he's the third member of the team.
Oh, no. The second. I'm the third wheel, Gordon. And you know why I wanted to burst into tears?
Like all of us. Disappointment?
No, a lot more than that. Oh, Gordon, maybe today was an omen. Maybe I should cut out right now. I've got the strongest hunch this flight is jinxed. And I'm the jinx.
Terry? Terry, where are you?
At the window, Gordon. I didn't mean to wake you.
It's okay. What's wrong, Terry?
Look, darling. The sky is filled with stars, glistening like fish in a net. Oh, hold me a minute.
Of course.
How many nights we've talked about this trip. Hope to make it together. All the long training and planning. And now it's here at last. Or almost here. I'm not going.
What?
I'm not going, Gordon.
Oh, but you've got to. You can't back out now.
Lieutenant Nettles is back up for me.
Oh, but she's not a doctor.
She's a woman. That's the important thing. I wasn't picked for this trip primarily because I'm a doctor.
But why would you cut out now?
Because I'm scared.
Oh, honey. Everybody gets buck fever. You know, I had it my first time.
This is more than buck fever.
Well, what is it then?
It's not me I'm scared for. It's you and Luke.
Why?
Because I'm a jinx.
No, you're not going to start in with the superstitions like Luke.
No, it's more than just superstition. Oh, darling, I can't tell you, but I've been lying awake and getting the strongest ESP waves.
You were dreaming.
But I wasn't. I was wide awake.
Oh, for the love of Mike, don't do this to me.
But it's you I'm thinking of, darling. I want you safe. And I honestly, for some reason, I can't explain why. I think if I go up there with
damn
you...
it, Terry, I never thought you'd do this to me.
And I never thought the first woman astronaut would be such a flop. Oh, I'm so ashamed. You better answer that.
Hello? Oh, yes, sir. Did you reach Luke Strong? Good. Yes, sir, we will. Within the hour. Oh, no, I can drive. Yes, sir, we'll go straight to the hospital unit. Thank you, sir. Good news for us, too.
What is it?
Weather forecasts are for quick changing conditions that would ground us for 2 to 3 weeks until, well, unless we get off tomorrow. They've restarted the countdown, and it's go. We lift off in 7 hours. I've committed you, Terry. If you don't go, it's a total scrub. Are you with me?
You know I'm always with you, for better or for worse, not just as a wife. Ready, willing, and able, Skipper. Astronaut Teresa Weber reporting aboard.
Pilot to Capcom. You read me?
Yes, Commander, we read you.
Are we still on countdown?
Yeah, Gordy, T5 and counting. Any okay with you?
All systems a go here. Check, Luke?
Everything reads good to me.
Cabin pressure is holding at 6.1 pounds.
Roger. We are T40 and counting. Looks good all the way.
Good. Keep me posted.
Roger. Over and out.
How do you feel, Terry?
Now that I'm here, great.
Hang in, lovely. You've only begun to live. What do you say, Luke?
Well, let's get it all put together. Skylab, here we come.
That's the spirit. Let's check out the inertial guidance and the boosters again.
What do I do, Captain?
Just sit tight and get ready for the thrill of your life.
This is Diana Control. The D1 countdown is at T-minus 35 seconds and counting. All systems are reported in a go condition. Pilot, co-pilot, and Dr. Weber are ready. The Diana spacecraft umbilical is cut. We have transferred to internal power. We are counting down starting now. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starting. 5, 4. We have ignition. All engines are running. We have a liftoff.
The clock is operating. We are underway.
Roger. Read you loud and clear.
We're smoothing out some now.
Roger. Through Max Q.
Through Max Q and smoothing out real fine. The sky looks very dark outside. Cabin pressure is holding at 6.1, okay. Coming up on 2 minutes.
Roger. Reading you loud and clear. Pitch 25 degrees. Your flight path looks very good.
We're up on S4B stage burn, and I read it. Mark, 2 minutes.
Roger. You have 22 seconds to shut off.
Roger. Read that, Luke.
What do you reach your velocity?
25,668 feet per second.
Roger. We confirm. Coming up to burn off. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
There she blows.
Gentlemen, you are in orbit.
Hallelujah. We've achieved orbit.
Whee!
Skylab, here we come.
You are go for a dock.
Roger.
You'll be losing me now. I'll pass you on to Bermuda.
Roger.
I'll see you in a couple of hours. Have a happy. We'll give you a final okay on docking then.
Roger. My buddy thanks you, my wife thanks you, and I thank you. Over and out. Okay, Terry. What do you think of space flight now?
Oh, it's marvelous. Wonderful. A rocking chair. I don't know what was the matter with me.
Well, whatever it was, as long as it's gone, let's put it out of our minds. Now, this is going to be a milk run.
A what?
I'll tell you. A young man like me and young woman like you wouldn't dig that talk. It's from World War II, but I've read about it. A milk run was like when you flew out to bomb and came back and knew old Hitler didn't have any more planes to bother you, and you were just as safe as if you were taking a ride in your grandmother's electric automobile.
A piece of cake.
Yeah. But the best piece of cake we got riding with little old Diana is the middle astronaut here.
Okay, Luke. Playtime's over. Let's run a full instrument check and give Terry a chance to start working on the medical reports. If I have to put up with wearing these electrodes like Frankenstein's monster, let's at least make it worthwhile. Can you boost your signal, Hawaii? Do you read me?
Anything wrong, Gordon?
No. We just passed out of range of Hawaii. We should be picking up on Houston and Mac any moment.
It's always kind of scary, though, isn't it?
What?
Anytime the tracking stations don't overlap and you lose contact.
Ah, you get used to it. It's only for a few moments at most.
Wouldn't it be...
Wouldn't it be what, Terry?
Oh, that's just silly imagination.
No, you got me going. I want to hear what.
Well, I was just thinking, wouldn't it be awful if we did lose touch completely with Earth?
Not possible. Too many backup systems. Different frequencies, emergency equipment.
Yeah, but just supposing as long as Terry brought it up, we did lose contact, what would happen then?
Well, we can still fly the ship.
Well, with no arrangement for splashdown, where would we fly to?
Well, we can always dock with Skylab and use their equipment. We don't need ground to make a dock.
Yeah, but if Skylab's equipment goes out...
come on now. It's just not possible, so forget it. I'm going to call in...
Diana 1, this is Skycom. Do you read me?
Roger. I sure do. Loud and clear.
Good. We'll have half an hour's clear contact. During that, we'll give you coordinates for the dock.
Roger.
Now, let's synchronize our time. I'm coming up on 10:32. That's 2232. Mark when I give you wow. Wow.
Roger. I read you. Dead on the button.
Hey, okay. Hear this, then. In order to achieve trend...
Mac? Mac? You read me? Mac?
What is it?
Now, hold it. Let me try another frequency. Mac? Mac? Capcom, this is Pilot Weber. Do you read me? Damn, try another. Diana 1 to Capcom. Capcom, do you read me?
I can't raise a thing, Skipper. I've tracked over Bermuda, Africa. Everything's dead. Every frequency.
I can't understand it. All other systems are go. Yet we've lost contact with ground.
That means we're on our own?
Unless we turn up Australia, Hawaii, or Mac back at Houston.
And if we don't?
We head for Skylab. Is that so terrible? Certainly its radio must be working.
And if it isn't?
Now, that isn't anything I want to start thinking about right now.
Maybe we better, because...
Because what, Terry?
You don't know, Luke, about my dream.
For God's sake, this is no time for dreams. Hello? This is Diana 1 calling.
That isn't going to do any good, Gordon. This is what I dreamed, that we'd lose contact. I remember that humming sound. You'll never get through it, even if we make Skylab.
That would mean that...
Thanks to me, the first woman, the Jinx, we're lost. We're lost in space.
Can you imagine being condemned to wander in space till food and oxygen gave out? Or the orbiting vehicle you made your home plunged through the friction of the atmosphere to roast you to ashes in fire and flame? The very thought of it makes my blood run cold. But perhaps you will prove to be made of sterner stuff. For another full orbit, the Diana 1 circled the Earth. But it seemed that all communication was irretrievably gone. On all frequencies, on all tracking stations our astronauts tried to raise, they heard only that high, oscillating hum.
Now, we've got to face it. We're clear out of touch. There's only one thing left to do. Make the dock ourselves.
Well, we've used up a critical amount of fuel attitudinizing ourselves to try to pick up Capcom signals.
I know.
Do we go for a dock this time around or wait till next orbit?
Well, we've repositioned all the way around this time. We'll never be aligned more favorably. With the tweak burn, we ought to have precise apogee and gain on her enough to lock onto target with radar.
How soon will we see the lab?
25 to 20 miles we ought to have clear.
There she is. Ahead and just a little bit above us.
She's right, Gordy.
Okay, we'll intercept. We're on our own. We're going to have to chase for a while, but we're locked on by radar and fitting. Right on the money. Tight as an oyster. No thanks to me.
What do you mean, Gordon?
What is it, Skip?
I don't know. You remember how we began to roll and swing over the Pacific?
I thought you were maneuvering for the lock.
I was trying to, but the ship just seemed to take over.